have been so procrastinating this morning. I don't want to go outside. And it's relatively not that warm in our house, but when it's been negative 20 for like the past 2 weeks, yeah, our house is probably going to have a little hard time keeping up. We just have a small wood stove, and it heats the entire house. But it has been so cold for so long, and I'm just tired of it. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 30 degrees, so I am so excited. But I really need to go outside and do chores and start the tractor and go down and feed our other cows. So I'm going to get dressed. I've got my muck boots and my coveralls right in front of the fireplace, so I'm hoping that they're really warm. I'm procrastinating so much that I'm still wearing my pajamas, but I put my sweater over my pajama top. And I'm not going to do a whole lot today. I'm going to do my chores, go feed the cows, and then I'm going to come back, probably clean up our house from last night, and sit on my butt. So I'm all layered up. Since we had a party last night, and I put all of my buckets and everything in the shower so nobody had to look at them. And so they're not really that uptod. Oh yeah, they are. Everything freezes, so I have to carry water twice a day. Dump the ice in the tub. Just grab all my buckets, fill them up in the sink. But yeah, this cold is not only hard on me, but it's hard on the animals, and I feel really bad for them. I have heat lamps on for the chickens and stuff, and the cows get fresh bedding every day. So, I mean, like, I do what I can for them. I don't have a barn. I have a little lean-to. So I'm going to give the tractor like a good 45 minutes to an hour to warm up before I have to go down and feed the other cows. And I just cycle the glow plugs a few times. It's plugged in, but it was like negative 35 last night. It was very cold, so I hope it starts. Ooh, she might not start. Make sure that my husband plugged it back in yesterday. Cycle the glow plugs a couple more times. Like I said, the cold weather isn't just hard on me. It's hard on the animals, and it's hard on our equipment. So, come on, tractor. You can do it. Well, the tractor won't start, so I'm just gonna have to let my husband know, and then hopefully he can come home from work and or maybe I'll just give it a few hours once it warms up a little bit more, hopefully. Then I'll try and start it again later. So I'm not doing a very good job of videoing this morning's routine because I need to take off my glove to hold the phone correctly, and it's really cold out. My hands keep getting really cold, but I have some roosters on this side of the barn right now because I just started raising purebred birds, and although some of these are purebred, I don't want too many roosters on that side. And then, of course, I have a couple mismatched roosters, but I'll get them fed. I gotta set this down. So this is the other side. I have a couple mismatched hens, but that won't matter. I just won't sell their, and my big old turkey. I won't sell their eggs as purebred, or I won't sell their chicks, but they're pets, so I kept them. I have 4 Kayaki Camel hens. I'm looking for some more, and a drake, but it's kind of the wrong time of the year to be looking. But I'm putting corn into their ration right now because it's adding some extra. Girls are hungry this morning. It adds extra energy. The ducks are very loud. Adds extra energy and really helps during this cold weather. I need to clean this side of the barn, and then they dumped some out. But it's so cold here right now. Someday I will do a barn tour when I don't have chickens on this side of the barn, and my glove back on. Have cleaned it because the chickens have made it a mess on this side. But I need to get these chickens butchered or sold or whatever and get rid of them so that I can have my barn back. But take Dolly her grain. And I'm probably going to give the heifers right there some cow cake this morning, just because it is so cold. But I am frozen. I don't have much left in me to be outside. So, yeah. Dolly drank quite a bit of water yesterday, so I need to get this tank filled. Hopefully the hydrant's not frozen. But I just have this little hose. That's the power cord to my milk machine. I just have this little tiny hose. It sometimes gets a little ice on the end of this, but just bang it on here, break it up. Whoa! And mix it. There we go. So I will turn this on. This tank's filled. So I fed Dolly her grain. I normally clean up the poop inside her lean-to in the morning, and then I give her some fresh straw in there. But I'm gonna wait until this afternoon. Maybe it'll warm up a little bit. There's still plenty of dry area for her to lay down in there. And then the goats are on that side eating their breakfast. I'm just standing out here waiting for the water tank to fill, because I know if I go inside and I take off my clothes, my winter clothes, then I won't want to come back out here right now. So her calves decided to stay on that side. There's a grass hay bale over there that she has free choice to. She just walks through the gate right here and then down through the creek, and then she's on the other side and she can have grass hay. And then I fill up this little, it was from a shuttle tote, but I made it into a little feeder so that the goats can get into it. And I put alfalfa hay in there. But there is a lot that they wasted yesterday. I'm hoping that if I just leave it until tonight and I just don't feed them any alfalfa until tonight, that they will clean up some more of that. Whatever they don't clean up, I'll pick it up with the pitchfork and bring it over here, and they can lay on it as bedding. And that'll save me a trip with the tractor over to get another bit of straw for their bedding for the rest of the week. But it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so I think my tank heater is frozen to the bottom. It is. But I will wait for this to get full, and then I'll shut it off, and then I'm going to go inside because my hands are frozen. I was hoping that when my husband got home to help me get the tractor started, that he would volunteer to go down and feed them. But he did not. So I'm headed down to feed our beef cows. They get 2 bales a day. I alternate between days on giving them a wheat hay bale. The wheat hay bale is a lot higher in protein. And since they're only in like just the very beginning of their 3rd trimester, I'm kind of rationing it. Hay was really expensive this year because of the drought. And so we have to kind of keep an eye on what they're eating and such like that. And I want to be able to save some of the best hay for the end of their 3rd and into their 4th trimester of their pregnancies, and they should start having about the 1st of April. So in March they're going to be getting the best part of the hay that we have. We have 2 loads of corn stover bales that we have paid for that we just have to go pick up yet. But with it being so cold, we're just kind of holding off until it warms up a little bit so that we don't have truck problems. We have to drive about 250 miles one way to get the hay. So waiting for a little bit nicer weather where we don't have to worry about the semi gelling up and somebody freezing to death, which would be my husband, is our best option. But along with the wheat hay bale every other day, they get a CRP bale. And the CRP bale is actually like an 8% protein. We had all of our hay tested. And so it's pretty decent hay. But they prefer the wheat hay much more than the CRP. And then some of the CRP bales we had poured with like a 40% liquid. So the protein in that is even a little higher and the palatability is better. But the drive down to our lease place is only just a couple of miles. Most of the time the tractor just sits down here, but we needed it last night for the little bonfire that we put on just so that we could keep an eye on the fire and stuff like that. So normally it's parked down here and I just drive my pickup down and I start the tractor, and then I go into the pasture and I check water and put out mineral if I need to. And then by the time I come back, the tractor is warm and ready to go. But today the tractor was at home, so I have to road it back down here, feed, and then I'm going to take it home because my husband thinks that we might be having some starter issues, so he's going to work on that once I'm done feeding. He said he wanted to take a nap, so he's going to take a nap, and I'm going to go feed cows. So yesterday I had to be at a neighbor's house at 7 o'clock in the morning to learn how to do their chores while they go on vacation next week. And so I wasn't going to have time yesterday morning to feed and properly check on my cows in the daylight, unless I was able to feed them after like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which I don't think is very fair to them because they're normally getting fed at like 9, which today is a little late because the tractor wouldn't start. But I just double fed them for 2 days instead, but I fed one in the front of the pasture and then one in the back of the pasture near the water tank so that they could find it. And so I'm curious to see if they came back here and cleaned out this feed, because cattle don't always go to water every single day. So they could have found this and they couldn't have, but this is what it looks like, and I think they did a pretty dang good job. This pile, they had one wheat bale and one CRP bale, but literally pretty much all of it is cleaned up. So I'm very happy with that, and I think that I'm probably going to do that again. I'm probably just going to go back out of the pasture and go get another 2 bales and feed them in the front of the pasture, since this time I brought the hay closer to the back just because I wanted to come back here to make sure that they had cleaned up all that. So I'm going to check the water, and then I will go get another couple bales. But I have to break ice first because it is frozen. But what do you expect at negative 30 degrees? So then on the front side of the pasture, I'm driving by where I fed the first 2 bales. I would have fed them on Thursday, and they cleaned all that up too. This was 2 CRP bales, one of them was born, and then the other spot was a wheat bale and a CRP bale. They cleaned it up really well, and they weren't standing at the gate when I got here. Slow down, there's big bumps. They weren't standing at the gate when I got here, and I mean, you can tell when they're usually hungry. They were just waiting for more food, but they were content. But I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm on my way to get more bales, and I'm probably going to feed them over here somewhere where they can't see me feeding them right now, so they don't come over here right away, because they'll just eat the wheat bale, and then they already had a wheat bale yesterday too. So, but I will probably feed them just right down in that valley right there. So